It's Stefan, and I'm going to take you through a 26 and 2 unheated class. If you're familiar with the heated version of this class, feel free to take it a little slower, allow the body to warm up through a little bit of a longer time. All right? Okay, let's start this. So from the side, we're going to start with Prāṇāyāma breathing. Toes together to touch. Slight little sliver in between your heels is kind of nice if you want to release the lower back a little bit, keep the hamstrings a little bit looser. From here, really engage the legs, pull kneecaps up into the quads, interlace fingers underneath your chin, thumbs touch the throat, you draw the elbows down, find your shoulders stacked over your waist, waist over your ankles, exhale everything out, and then start to inhale through your nose. And exhale through your mouth, HA. From there, inhale. Face comes forward. Keep inhaling as long as you're lifting the elbows up. Hold at the top, and then exhale through your mouth, HA. Inhale, slowly, eyes come forward. And exhale, knuckles into your chin. Find empty. Inhale, we'll go through a count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold at the top. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Elbows touch if they can. Inhale, slowly, eyes come forward. Draw abdominals in. Pull kneecaps up into the quads. Keep the shoulders soft. Hold. And then exhale, knuckles into your chin. All of that air out. Face comes eventually parallel to the ceiling. Try to get really empty. And then elbows come together to touch. From there, inhale, slowly, eyes come forward. It's more so like you're gliding into that inhale. Keep that inhale soft. Link breath to movement, elbows lift up as long as you are inhaling. Exhale, knuckles into your chin. All of that air out. Sometimes you will have to push out the air slightly to get really empty. Bottom of the belly, elbows come together, maybe touch. Inhale. Find that slow snoring sound, soft breath, even breath. Draw it out all the way to that 6 count, and then exhale, knuckles into your chin. All of that air out, chin lifts forward, chin lifts up. It's as if you're lifting the ears slightly back and up, elbows together to touch. Inhale, widening the lungs, left, right, front, back, up and down. Feel all of that. Hold, and then exhale, knuckles into your chin. All of that air out. Keep the abdominals drawn in. Weight in your heels, slight tuck forward with the collarbones. Inhale, last one. And exhale. So then just release the arms. Asana practice. Eyes stay open, lips stay sealed. Bring toes together to touch, keep them. Actually going to demonstrate that from the front. Toes together to touch. Slight little sliver of space in between your heels. Optional. Inhale the arms up. Interlace fingers, release the index fingers, steeple grip. And then from here, go up and over to the right, up and over to the left. Tick-tock the body, side to side, left to right, right to left. Sway the body. Slowly come to stop in the center. Heels root down, index fingers lift up. Take another big inhale. And go up and over to the right. Hips bump to the left. You pull yourself over to the right. So this is a minute-long posture. So you have some time here to maybe bring that left hip forward, maybe that right armpit slightly forward. The result of that is you want to keep the shoulders stacked over your waist, waist over your ankles. Legs still active. Abdominals drawn in. As you step that left foot down into the floor, lift the left shoulder up against that and find that space. left side of your body, where you're directing the breath into that half circular shape. Try to fill that with breath. As you bump the hip a little bit more over to the left, pull yourself a little bit more over to the right. Keep the face facing forward. Muscles of the neck stay long that way. With the help of the right arm, pull the entire left side of your body over to the right. If you can straighten out the arms a little bit, do that. Open the collarbones. Find your breath even, soft, smooth, and slowly bring it all the way back up to center. Heels root down, index fingers lift up. Take another big inhale and go up and over to the left. Hips bump to the right, you pull yourself over to the left. And again, you want to stack shoulders over the waist, waist on top of your ankles. Maybe right hip slightly forward, maybe left armpit slightly forward. Muscles of the neck stay long. As you step that right foot down, lift right shoulder up against that and fill that entire right side of your body with breath. Direct the breath into that, and at the same time keep the length left side of the body where you're not collapsing. Stretch out that left arm. With its help, draw the entire right side of your body over to the left. Eyes stay forward, soft focus in your eyes. Easy breath, even breath, smooth breath, nothing too labored. And slowly bring it all the way back up to center. I'm just going to turn here just to show this from the other side, from the side. As you start to look up to what the hands are pointing at, find the first back bend here, root the heels down, waist stays tucked forward, and then you follow your hands, drawing that line across the ceiling. If your lower back is slightly compromised, feels slightly not so good, you can bring the hands to your lower back and find the back bend from there. Find the lift in the sternum here, as if you're imagining a thread that's drawing you up by your sternum. Find that lift, middle and upper back reaching up. And then you just add the back bend on top of that. And then slowly come back. Your arms lift up, and then hinge forward at your waist. Fold forward, long spine on your way down. Micro bend in your knees. Helps with keeping the spine long. And then once you're down here, fingers might touch the floor, maybe just reach for the floor, and then you start to walk it out. Bend the left knee, bend the right knee, shake it out, do that little dance, swivel the hips, left and right, right and left. From there, bend your knees halfway, glue the upper body down onto your thighs, really find that connection here. And then, if your reach allows it, bring your fingers underneath your heels or outside edges of your feet or your ankles or even your calves. Whatever is possible here, whatever allows you to keep the upper body all on your thighs, still find that compression. And then drop the head completely and start to pull on whatever you're pulling there. And maybe the elbows can come slightly closer together behind your calves. Find the muscles of the neck lengthening, and the forehead draws a little bit closer to your shins. And maybe you can straighten out the legs a little bit more. Find length in your spine here. That is the objective of this. Bring a little bit more air, space in between each of your vertebrae. And then release that grip, interlace the fingers in front of you with all of that length. Come all the way back up to standing. And then you release the arms. Second set, just going to show that from the other side here. From this side, inhale the arms up. Option to switch up to non-dominant grip, other thumb on top here. If you want to level out your grip. Inhale, heels root down, index fingers lift up. Half the time here, second set. We found the directions in the first set. Second set, we get to play a little bit. Bump hips to the left, pull your body over to the right. That center line of your body, from the heels, calves, inner thighs, navel, solar plexus, chin, forehead, index fingers, one line of energy. You're reaching through that line of energy. Hips bump to the left, you pull yourself more over to the right. Watch how the shoulders are stacked on top of the waist, waist on top of the ankles. Right arm straightens out, you pull that entire left side of your body over to the right. Find your breath, easy, even, smooth. Collarbones open up, and then slowly bring it all the way back up to center. I'm just gonna show that from the front again. The second side, heels root down, index fingers lift up, go up and over to the left. Hips bump to the right, you pull yourself over to the left. Heels root down. That center line of your body elongates all the way through the index fingertips. Eyes with that soft focus on a point in front of you. Find your breath, easy, even, soft. And then bring it all the way back up to center. Nice. From here, let's watch this from this side. As you look up toward the index fingertips are pointing at, start to draw that line across the ceiling, across the sky. And still keep that lift, middle and upper back here. Waist stays tucked forward. Reach back, keep the lift, find the lift, find more back, maybe. And then slowly bring it back forward. Eyes on your eyes. Nope, eyes on that soft point of something in front of you, and hinge forward at your waist. Fold forward. Long spine on your way down. Hands reach for the floor, maybe touch the floor. You walk it up. Bend left knee, bend right knee, shake it out. Do that little dance, swivel the hips left and right, right and left. I usually here include something like focus on keeping it light, keeping it playful, keeping it easy, and maintain that throughout the practice. From there, bend both of your knees approximately halfway, and again, find that connection upper body to your thumbs. You want to have a sweet spot here, somewhere in between challenging and sustainable, and then you get to explore here. Work with that. So keep the upper body on your thighs, keep that compression, keep the action of pulling, but also, at the same time, keep the quality of your breath. Easy ins and outs. You're not laboring through your breath. You're letting the breath happen. You're letting the posture be on top of that. And slowly release it. Interlace the fingers and draw yourself all the way back up. Next one I'm going to show from the front. Utkaṭāsana, 3 levels of uncomfortability. Step that right foot out, approximately 6 inches in between both of your feet, so that the outer edges of your feet pretty much line up with the outer edges of your hips. Lift the arms forward and up, palms face down, fingers glued shut, and then from there slowly just bend the knees. Sit the sit bones back in space. So the knees want to come behind your toes. When you're looking down, you would want to see your toes. If you don't, just reach the sit bones back a little bit further. Hip points here, lift up slightly off your thighs, and the chest draws slightly forward. So it is a back bend in the end. Muscles of the neck stay long. Legs will fire up. Maybe come through a little bit of shaking. And slowly draw that all the way back up. So, gonna show the next one from the side. Feet still, hip width distance apart. Just come up high onto your toes. Tall spine, long spine. Push the tops of the feet forward, and then slowly allow yourself to descend here. With the upper part of your body still upright, as if you're leaning on a solid block of something. If you have a wall right there in your apartment or outside, wherever you are, you can experiment with that. Just lean on that wall and see how that feels. If your tendency is to draw back or to draw forward, you might be able to correct that this way. Lift the heels up, push the tops of the feet forward, and slowly come all the way back up. Heels come down. Inner thighs draw together. This will show from the front again. So this will look a little bit like this. Inner thighs draw together, the knees will already go forward slightly. Keep squeezing inner thighs together, knees together, and then slowly descend. Your upper body again is upright, as we had it in the just last posture. Keep squeezing knees together, inner thighs together, and then keep the hips a little bit higher than your knees. Knees can draw forward, crown of your head lifts up, find that shaking, and then slowly draw yourself all the way back up. And then the foot steps in, arms down by your side. Option to do a second set here. We will go towards Garuḍāsana, eagle pose. Toes together to touch. Slide a little sliver of space in between your heels. Inhale the arms up. And then swing. Identify the right arm, that one here, and swing that underneath your left. Curl it around, wrap it around, so the right elbow wants to be below your left elbow. And then you interlace, you press palms together, draw the elbows down, sit down halfway, and then from there, lift that right leg up high over the left, curl it around, wrap it around. So usually what happens here is that left hip tends to draw back. Try to keep it forward. As you find your single wrap or your double wrap, for the double wrap, squeeze the front of your right foot into the left calf. Draw the elbows down, where shoulders a little stretch, muscles of the neck stay long. Bring knees and elbows closer to the center line of the body. And then unwind, step back, arms up above your head, and then that left arm swings underneath the right, curls around, wraps around. Palms together to touch. Draw the elbows down. Sit down halfway. Lift that left leg up high over the right. Curl it around. Watch that right hip. As you find that single wrap, that double wrap, definitely keep squeezing that upper thigh bone down onto your lower thigh bone, and then bring that right hip back forward. Bring knees and elbows closer to the center line of the body. Keep the shoulders soft, even. Find your breath, easy, uninterrupted by the posture. Sit down a little bit deeper into your heel. Crown of your head lifts up against that. Elbows draw down and unwind. Step it back. Arms up above your head. And then arms down by your side. From here on out, if you have a little bit of water by you, as we're completing this warm-up phase, feel free to drink a little sip of water here and there. Not too much, eventually it might throw off your balance a little bit. We will continue with balancing, so to say. Anchor that left foot down into the floor and really firm up that left standing leg. The work we'll do here is in that left standing leg. Lift the right knee forward and upright foot flexes underneath that right thigh. Attempts to be approximately parallel to the floor. And then from here, with that really firm left standing leg, unwavering option to stay here, maybe grab that right knee, draw it a little bit towards yourself, or to round yourself forward and down. Clear some space on your way down, and grab that foot with the webbing to webbing grip from underneath. So that right thigh eventually wants to be parallel again. Draw the abdominals in to protect the lower back here. So in other words, draw the navel towards your spine. If that left leg is still unwavering, solid like a lamppost, option to extend that right heel forward to two straight legs, 90-degree angle in between them. From there you would have some more options. So bring the elbows down below the line of the calf muscle. Eventually bring forehead towards your knee. That left leg really wants to stay solid, unwavering. So you'll have the option to come out of that posture once you find that left leg giving up a little bit. Just pull kneecap up into the quad. And then from there, slowly bring that right foot to the floor, anchor it down. Same thing, other side, right leg really, really solid, unwavering. Left knee lifts forward and up, left thigh parallel to the floor. From here, just finding that right leg really, really engaged. Maybe grab that left knee and focus on that strength, on building the endurance in that right standing leg. Or you round yourself forward and down, leave some space on your way down, and grab that foot with that webbing to webbing grip from underneath. All 10 fingers included into that grip around the ball of your foot. Right leg firms up, kneecap up into the quad. And then maybe you would extend that left heel forward. 2 straight legs, 90-degree angle in between them is the goal here. So right now, spine still relatively straight, 45 or so degree angle. And then eventually, if the elbows round down below the line of the calf muscle, you can start to round your spine a little bit more. Forehead to your left knee. Connection eventually. So also in my case, once that left leg kicks out, our balance tends to shift back, tends to make up for that. So then try to bring the weight a little bit more forward into the toes and see how that relates in that right standing leg. Nice, and then slowly we'll come out. Little assisted back bend, hands to your lower back. Lift the sternum up. And then we can do that again. So this time we'll just show that from the front. So that left foot anchors down into the floor, that right knee lifts forward and up, right foot flexes underneath. From there, round yourself forward and down, clear some space on your way down. Grab that foot with the webbing to webbing grip. If that left leg is still solid, unwavering like that lamppost, option to kick that right heel forward. 2 straight legs, 90-degree angle in between them. So if this is second set, anchor that right foot down into the floor and lift the left knee forward and up. Left foot flexes underneath. And then round yourself forward and down, clear space on your way down. Go for that foot. Or also the option to just stay here, hold the foot, hold the leg, hold the knee. And really build that endurance, right standing leg. If you want to kick out, option kick out now. Right leg stays solid, maybe bring the weight slightly more forward. If the kicking out of the leg draws both of your hips back slightly, which is usual, tighten up the inseam of that right standing leg. In other words, move the right sit bone a little bit more to the center of the body, and then let all of that go. If that back bend felt good for you in the first set, you can do that again. And then from there, right elbow to the right hip, open up the palm, bend the right knee behind you, collect the foot from the inside of the ankle inside so that that right shoulder rolls open and back. So you find that inside grip right there. Both of your knees relatively close together. Both of your hips want to stay even. And then left arm reaches up, palm faces forward, and you find your kick into your hand. For the first couple of moments, just find that kick into your hand and go from there. Left side of your body still reaches up. That foot eventually might come up behind you in the mirror. Still find that reach, left side of your body. Reaching up, reaching forward. Kick and reach. Breathe through all of that. Kick a little bit more, reach a little bit more. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, and kick to come out. Nice. Left elbow to left hip, just turn around. So we see that from this side. From there, bend that left knee behind you. Collect the foot from the inside of the ankle. Right arm reaches up, palm faces forward. Both of your knees close together, both of your hips Stay level. Start to kick the foot into your hand. Swipe that left knee straight back in space. Again, for a couple moments, just focus on that strength of your kick into your hand. Allow that left shoulder to roll open and back right here. Foot comes up, comes up, comes up. You shoot, you kick that left shin bone all the way back, all the way up. You find that stretch that results from keeping the upper body lifted up. Kick a little bit more. Maybe that foot will come up behind you in the mirror. You can still keep that stretch. You kick more, reach more. Eventually, foot comes up behind you in the mirror, you reach more forward. Maybe two shoulders in one line. Right leg stays really, really solid. Kick, reach. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and kick to come out. From there, we'll just do that again. Right elbow to the right hip, open up the palm. Bend the right knee behind you, collect the foot from the inside of the ankle. Left arm reaches up, palm faces forward. Find your kick, find your reach. In all of that, don't work so hard that the posture will interrupt your breath. So keep the breath as even as possible and layer the posture on top of your breath. And then kick to come out. Left elbow to left hip, open up the palm. Bend the left knee behind you. Collect the foot. Right arm reaches up, palm faces forward. Start your kick. Find your breath. Open up that left shoulder. Keep that left hip forward as much as possible. Left hip rotating down. Kick. Reach. 3, 2, 1, and let that go. Tulādaṇḍāsana, balance your stick, come to the back of your mat. Inhale the arms up, interlace fingers, release the index fingers, palms pressed together. Take a big step forward onto your right foot, point the toes of the left, body down, leg up on your exhale. The left heel drives the action, left hip rotates down. Right leg stays solid, unwavering. Fingertips forward, toes to the back. And slowly step it back. Right foot, left foot. Inhale. Big step forward onto your left foot. Point the toes of the right. Body down, leg up on your exhale. That right heel drives the action. Right hip rotates down. Toes point to the back. Fingertips forward. Draw abdominals in. Shoulders stay soft. Rotate inner thigh muscles of that right thigh upward. And slowly come back. Right foot, left foot, arms down by your side. From there, we'll find a quarter turn to the right. Just so you see this from the front. Inhale the arms up. And then a big step out to the right. Arms to the sides like airplane wings. Bring the outside edges of your feet approximately parallel, if not slightly pigeon-toed in. If you're suffering from sciatica, definitely keep them parallel. And then from there, with a tall spine, long spine, hinge forward at your waist. Fold forward, long spine on your way down. And then you can reach underneath your heels, outside edges of your feet. You might reach for your ankles. You might keep the hands just underneath your shoulders. Important what we want to do here, either by pulling on whatever we're pulling here, or leaving the hands in front of you, lengthening the spine. That's the idea here. So as you keep that action of pulling consistent or draw yourself forward, really find space in your spine. Breathe imaginatively into the space in between your vertebrae. Puff the chest forward to the front edge of your mat rather than looking behind you. Look underneath you. Muscles of the neck stay long. Maybe head touches the floor. And then from there, try to straighten the legs. Slowly, all the way back up. Arms up above your head. Step the feet together and arms down by your side. From there, we'll go to Trikoṇāsana, triangle pose, peak posture of the standing series. Inhale the arms up, and then find a big step out to the right. Arms to the sides like airplane wings. Lift the toes of the right foot up. Pivot on that right heel over to that side, so that that right knee, as you bend it, stays facing that side. With that, bring the toes of your left foot in approximately 45 degrees. Flip the palms, look to the left, and tilt your body to the right. Elbow to the inside of your right knee connection. And you look up to what that left hand is pointing at. That left hip draws forward. Left side of your rib cage draws up. Outside edge of your left foot prints down into the floor. That left leg really, really active, engaged. One line of energy all the way through the crown of your head. And then slowly bring it back up. Toes of the right foot in. Toes of the left foot out. Bend that left knee a couple of times over that left ankle. Find that 90-degree angle right here. From there, flip the palms, look to the right, tilt the body to the left. Elbow to the inside of your left knee connection right here. There's a little bit of contact, there's a little bit of pressure. Finding that left knee drawing forward. If the neck allows for it, look up to what that right hand is pointing at. Right hip draws forward, outside edge of that right foot down into the floor. One line of energy from your heel, side of your leg, side of your body, into the crown of your head. And then slowly bring it back up. Arms up above your head. Step the feet together, arms down by your side. We'll do a second set with a slight variation. Inhale the arms up. Take that big step out to the right. Arms to the sides. Toes of the right foot lift up. Pivot on that heel. Toes of the left foot 45 degrees in. Bend that right knee. 90-degree angle here. Flip the palms up left. Tilt the body to the right. Elbow to the inside of your right knee connection. You want to hug that right hip underneath you. And maybe with the back of your left hand, reach that to your right hip, hug it in, and bring that right arm underneath you here for a bind. We'll see that on the other side as well. And you look up towards the sky, towards the ceiling. And then release that. Arms up. Toes of the right foot in, toes of the left foot out. Bend that left knee a couple of times. Find that wide enough stance so that eventually one day you can have that left thigh parallel here. Flip the palms, look to the right, and then tilt the body to the left. And that right arm reaches back of your right hand to your left hip, and then that left arm reaches underneath you for that bind. And if the shoulders aren't that open, don't worry about it right now. That will come eventually. And I'm gonna just show you that just on the other side here, so you see what the grip of the hand looks like. So here's that left arm reaching around, and then that right arm underneath you. So there you have the grip of the hands and that openness in the shoulders. From here, inhale the arms up, palms pressed together to touch. Find a 3-foot or a 3.5-foot step out to the right, so a little bit less than we had before, and pivot on both of your heels to that long side there. Bump that left hip forward so that both of your hips line up. Inhale, lengthen to your fingertips, chin to your chest, and round down and curling, coiling. Get real small, real compact, rounding the spine in, forehead to your right knee, connection. Totally fine to support yourself here on both of your hands. Just find forehead to knee connection, and with the help of that, try to bring that right hip back and up. Pull at the same time that left hip forward, so that again both of your hips can be aligned. Little balance challenge. Both palms of your hands together. And then slowly round all the way back up, vertebrae by vertebrae. From the other side. Inhale, lengthen to your fingertips. Bump that right hip forward. Both of your hips line up. And round yourself down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Curling in, coiling in. Forehead to your left knee connection. Again, you can support yourself on your hands. Draw the knee in. Lift that left hip back and up. Right hip draws forward. And then slowly come all the way back up. Same way you went in, vertebrae by vertebrae. Find a turn. Step feet together, arms down by your side. Tree pose, optional toe stand here for you. Anchor that left foot down into the floor. Last thing we're doing is standing. Anchor that left foot down into the floor. Right heel lifts up high into your left hip crease. Hold it there with your left hand. And the hot 26 and 2 variation here is a hip opener very clearly. That right knee draws down, slightly back in space, so you're opening up this right hip situation here. Right hand can come up to heart center, and then left hand up to heart center as well, if the foot sticks. And then you have the option to stay here, or to move forward into toe stand. For toe stand, hinge forward at your waist, fold forward, long spine stays until fingers reach the floor, and then you can bend both of your knees through the gates of the arms. Just try to keep both of your knees approximately same distance to the floor here. Maybe lift the hands up off the floor. And then slowly bring hands to the floor. Elongate that left leg and come all the way back up. That right foot releases, draws down to the floor. And then you bring that left heel up high into your right hip crease. Hold it there with your right hand. Left hand up to heart center. Find that left hip opening up, that left knee drawing down, slightly back in space. Option for toe stand or to stay right here. Maybe even eventually hover up off your heel. And then catch yourself forward. Straighten that right leg again. Come all the way back up, and if you stayed in tree, release the foot now. Acknowledge yourself for a strong standing practice, and find your way down onto the floor for Śavāsana. for Śavāsana. Lay down on your mat. Heels can touch, toes fall open, and the arms just down by your side. Bring the attention to your limbs. Let the right arm hang heavy, the left arm hang heavy. The right leg hang heavy, left leg hang heavy. Muscles of the neck stay long. The spine relaxes, releases into the floor. You achieve a sense of floating, the floor carrying you here. Give some weight over to the floor, to the mat. The eyes stay open. The soft focus on one point on the sky or on the ceiling. You bring the attention to your breath. Soft inhales and exhales. Elongate them. Eventually, with that, bring the breath to silent. Śavāsana, dead body pose. From here, lift that right leg up. Option to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, just to bring the attention back to your body. With the webbing to webbing grip on top of your right shin bone, draw that right knee in towards your right armpit. Avoid the rib cage, avoid the lungs. That left shoulder here stays still on the ground. Pavanamuktāsana, wind removing pose. On your next exhale, give it a slight little tug in. And then let that go. From there, same thing other side, option to switch up the grip to the non-dominant one. Webbing to webbing. And draw that left knee in. Right shoulder stays on the ground. On your next exhale, just slide a little tug in. And then slowly let that go. From here, lift both of your knees up, give yourself that big hug around your knees, grab for opposite elbows or for forearms, whatever is possible there. Maybe you have to grab for your wrists. Try to draw the knees towards your collarbones as you keep the lower back softly on the floor. You're not pressing the lower back onto the floor, you keep it on the floor softly. Muscles of the neck stay long. Chin might be slightly tucked in. Find the idea of length in your spine. So the tailbone lifts that way towards the end of your mat. Muscles of the neck stay long. So you translate that to feeling length in your spine. On your next exhale, just slide a little tuck in. And then slowly let that go. Couple of options here. If you have anything going on in your lower middle upper back, just flip over, help yourself up any way, shape or form that's comfortable. Other option here is a yogi sit up, toes and heels touch, feet flex, lift the arms up above your head, hook the thumbs, and then take a big inhale. Sit up, double exhale, hands to your feet, forehead to your knees. And then from here, Bhujaṅgāsana, Cobra pose. Palms of your hands underneath your shoulders. Draw the elbows up and in. Tops of the feet press into the floor. On your inhale, lift the spine forward and up. You're using the fingertips to gently draw into the floor so that you can draw your spine with your head eventually a little more forward and up. Get one more rib up off the floor as you bring the elbows up and in. And then you can also play with the weight in your hands here. And then slowly let that go. Look to the right, left ear on the ground, soft gaze, arms down by your side. We'll call this belly Śavāsana. So with these Śavasanas, we're just trying to let the body rest after working it very, very hard. Basically giving every little muscle, every organ in your body a workout. Now, we're just seeing how much we can relax in these little moments of Śavāsana. The breath calm down. Give your weight over to the floor. And then we'll move forward. Bring the chin center of your mat. Lift right side of your body up, wiggle that right arm underneath you. Left side of your body up, wiggle that left arm underneath you. So ideally both of your elbows are underneath your body. Pinky fingers right next to each other, you press the palms into the floor. Inhale to lengthen the right leg. Exhale, lift the right leg up off the floor. Left leg really soft. Right hip still rotates down. You might find that rotation. Inner thigh muscles of that right thigh rotating upward. That sole of your right foot draws up towards the sky, the ceiling, and slowly let that go. Inhale to lengthen left leg. Exhale, lift left leg up off the floor. Left hip rotates down, stays down. Length more important than height here. Reach the toes. And slowly let that go from there. Bring the mouth to the floor, chin to the floor, protect your neck with that. Inhale to lengthen both of your legs. Exhale, lift both of your legs up off the floor. Toes reach back. Fingertips strong. Try to draw your weight more forward into the shoulders. Press the shoulders down as you lift the legs up a little bit more. And then slowly let that go. Unwiggle the arms from underneath your right leg, right arm, left arm. And then look to the other side just to balance it out. Look to the left, right cheek on the ground. Just 2 cycles of breath here. Bring the chin center. Both of your arms out to either side if you have the space for that. If not, then you can cactus your arms. Inhale. 2. Lift everything up off the floor. Your legs reach back. Arms, the wrist. From here, bring the chin back center. Both of your arms out to either side. If you don't have enough space, you can cactus both of your arms. The elbows up. Inhale. Peel everything up off the floor. Your legs reach back, your toes reach back. Both of your arms to either side. Get one more rib up off the floor. And slowly let that go. Look to the right, left ear on the ground, soft gaze, arms down by your side. Belly Śavāsana. Toes touch, heels follow. Then bring the chin back center. Both of your knees bent behind you for Dhanurāsana floor bow. Bringing all of this work together. Grab your feet from the outside like 2 steel hooks. Hold on to your feet. Bring both of your knees relatively close together and start to kick your feet into your hands. Let that lift the upper body up off the floor. Shoulders roll open and back as you intensify the kick. Lift up. 80-20 breathing, exhaling only 20, re-inhaling 20. Let's go. From there, bring the chin back center. Bend both of your knees behind you. Now putting this all together, grab your feet from the outside like 2 steel hooks. Hold on to your feet like that. Keep the knees relatively close together. And then start to kick your feet into your hands. Let that lift your upper body up off the floor. Shoulders roll open and back as you intensify the kick. Allow yourself to move forward onto the soft part of your belly, and then 80-20 breathing, exhaling only 20, re-inhaling 20% of your breath. Keep kicking. Lift up, look up, stay up, and slowly let that go. Look to the left, right here on the ground, soft gaze, arms down by your side, toes touch, heels fall open, belly, Śavāsana. Two cycles of breath here. And from there, bring the chin back center and push yourselves up to Suptavajrāsana, fixed firm pose. So with this one, you want to be really careful with your knees. You might employ the services of a block here to sit on it if your knees are kind of vulnerable. And also if the front of your ankles is not as open yet. If your sit bones can reach the floor, buttocks can reach the floor, and from there, you can allow yourself to come back onto your elbows and so on. Otherwise, you just stay on your block, maybe right here, and have the knees open up over time. Fronts of your ankles open up over time. The other option here, if your sit bones are on the ground, come back onto your elbows, top of your head, back of your head, shoulders, and then reach eventually in full expression both elbows away from you. Grab opposite elbows and try to bring the knees a little bit closer together here. Find an even, solid, smooth breath, and maybe lift the tailbone closer to the end of the mat. From there, slowly, softly, bring yourself back up. Pedal out your legs a couple times, just to get the blood flowing again, everything below your knees. Maybe find a downward facing dog. And then sit the back of your mat. This time link up your ankles, your heels. Inhale the arms up, palms together to touch, thumbs cross with length. Tailbone to the crown of your head, to the fingertips. Hinge forward at your waist. Look a couple feet in front of you and try to bring the forehead to the floor first, then pinky fingers to the floor, blade of your hands into the floor, wrists stay up off your floor, elbows stay up off your floor, shoulders stay soft, muscles of the neck long. As you inhale, reach more forward. It's a little bit more active than a child's pose. As you exhale, bring the sit bones to your heels. Then press palms together, draw the abdominals in, squeeze inner thighs together, and let all of that slowly draw you back up off the floor. Then arms down by your side. Strasana, camel pose, peak posture of this entire thing here, this entire sequence. As you stand on your knees, approximately 6 inches apart, hands to your lower back. Lift sternum up first. Keep the waist tucked forward as if you're leaning with the waist and the thighs on a solid block of something here. And then as you start to look up, still have the sternum lift. Again, imagine that thread hanging down, lifting you, pulling you up by your sternum. And then you allow yourself from there to go back. Still keep that lift. If you have that flexibility, maybe you bring hands to your heels, but keep the waist tucked forward if you do that. And then slowly, hands can come to your lower back, lift up again, and we'll take a Śavāsana here. After this one, big frontal body opener. So we'll take the Śavāsana to let the effects of that ripple out, and those ripples soften. Eyes stay open, soft focus on a point above you. And we'll do another sit-up. Toes and heels touch, feet flex, lift the arms up above your head, hook the thumbs, take that big inhale, and then sit up. To that double exhale. From here, sit middle of your mat, Satsāngasana, rabbit pose, counter posture to Utkaṭāsana. grab your heels. If you're in a hot room and it's very sweaty, you can bring the towel over your heels for that dry grip. Looks a little bit like that in this case. Start from a position of length, tailbone to the crown of your head, and then just start by tucking in your chin and rounding in, curling in and down, forehead to your knees connection. And you hold on to your heels, and from there just lift the hips up with the grip on your heels. A little bit of weight on the crown of your head, not much. The stability is more coming from forehead to your knees connection. Follow out the belly, keep the action of pulling consistent, and then slowly let that go. From there, bring your hips to either side, and then that right leg goes out 45 degrees, that left foot to your right thigh. Inhale the arms up, webbing to webbing grip. Turn to your right, bring the left side of your body into this turn, and round yourself down over your right leg, forehead to your right knee connection here. So feel free to find that bend in your right knee as much or as little as you need it. Forehead to your knee might help you to work that right leg down to the floor completely. Also feel free, try to bring that left knee towards the floor. And then slowly let that go. Left leg out, 45. Right foot to your left thigh. Turn to your left. And round yourself down over your left leg, forehead to your left knee in this case. If that left leg is completely down on the ground, you can pull the toes towards yourself. The Achilles tendon and the light little stretch. And also try to keep both of your shoulders equally close to the floor. Forehead to your knee. And that right knee draws down towards the floor. Inhale the arms up, both legs out to the front. Peace fingers with your hands. Grabbing the big toes, put the thumbs on top, and then shuffle out the flesh from underneath your sit bones. And start to draw yourself forward through the gates of your arms, drawing the sternum forward. Think back bend here, keep the muscles of the neck long, chin might be slightly tucked in, and allow yourself to pull so that the biceps fire up. Eventually the legs might come to the floor, but if you're more comfortable keeping the bend in the knees, that's totally fine too. And then slowly let that go. We'll have a twist to do, we'll have a breathing exercise, and then that's it for the twist. Bring that left knee to the floor. Cross that right foot over. I like the right heel directly next to my left knee. Right sit bone to the floor. If it isn't, bring that left leg to elongate. Right arm behind you, left arm lifts up. You find a turn to the right and then tuck the elbow to the outside of that left knee. Hold on to the right. Inhale, grow tall. And exhale to twist middle and upper back over to the right. Into that twist. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, lean into your twist. Maybe two shoulders in one line. You look behind you. And then slowly, softly release that. Bring that right knee to the floor. Cross that left heel over. Plant that entire left foot on through that right side there. Keep the left sit bone on the floor. If it isn't, feel free to extend that right leg forward. Left arm behind you, right arm up. Find the turn. Elbow to the outside of that left knee. Opening up the collarbones first. Inhale, go tall. Exhale to twist. Middle and upper back over to the left. Inhale, go tall. Exhale, lean into your twist. And slowly let that go. Maybe a little counter twist. Last thing we're doing, diaphragmatic breathing. Looks a little bit like this from the side. Focus on the exhales. So, inhales you just let happen. Exhale everything out. Find a comfortable seat. I like to sit on my heels for this, link up the ankles, an active seat. So find tailbone to crown of your head length again, hands on your thighs, 4 to support that length. Exhale everything out, and inhale halfway, and begin. Stay strong with that. Still just focusing on the exhale. And then we'll speed it up. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you very much for allowing me to guide you through this practice. Wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.